and I will record this for other people to use in the future. Well,
Okay.
welcome to today's breakthrough. Remember, we're in this together.
Yep.
So, attention, questions, and realize that I'm going to learn something from you, just like you learn from me, as long as you are interactive and engaged. All right, Deb, rock it
Yes.
out, if you will.
What does that mean? Rock it out.
The mission, our manifesto, you get to say it out loud.
Oh my. Okay.
You,
I read it. We are confident, grateful, and authentic. We accept complete responsibility for who we are and where we are in life. We live with intention, kindness in our currency. We control our thoughts, body, and actions. We accept the people and things we are powerless to control. We have the grit to never quit. We take action with authentic power, accept what we can't control, and we get away from the unacceptable. We transform our suffering into authentic strength. We strengthen our bodies, calm our minds, and share our authentic light. We're not perfect, but improve daily to help others and lighten up too. We are light share warriors.
Deb, you rocked it, girl. Thank you. All right. So I am the teacher in me. Did you do last week's? And if not, well, it's never too late. Last week we covered the acts of action, and your job was to what new actions did you add and stack last week? What traits did you chop away? So actually putting action behind our goals and our intentions and deliberately and intentionally following those actions through. And we covered last week all the different ways in which to do that. So I'm not here to ask you and see what you did. You can always see by people's results how much of the behind the scenes work they're doing. And I think that the more you put into it, the more you'll get out. But definitely taking new actions is the only way we're gonna get new results.
Well,
Because you have a goal.
I worked on accountability last week. Some days were better than others, but the evaluation process was really good.
Awesome. Well, I'm gonna mute you for a bit and then we'll talk a bunch at the end. Cool?
Okay, great.
And raise your hand if you want me to explain something along the way too. That way, when other people watch it, other people that aren't attending, it's a clean, just go through. All right, intentions, words, thoughts. We have a goal. All of us have something we want. And if you're here, most likely you definitely want to lose some weight. And that is your first, I would say, goal or intention. And when you charge up a goal with actual emotion, a reason, a why, and purpose, it becomes an intention. And then we talk about that. We put it into words. We write it down. Other people say it back to you. And then you think about it. And you have these new feelings, and these feelings are going to do. You start taking new actions, but we don't get the outcome. So many goals, especially weight loss, especially improving our nutrition and so forth, we don't get the outcome that we shot out for. And through extensive study, there's a reason for it. And because after we start taking the actions, our old behaviors kick in, stress eating, procrastinating, so many different things. And we're like, why did that happen? Turns out it's all happening in the unconscious mind because we have these self-protective beliefs that have been there for a while that create thoughts that create us to take these old actions. And these are all automatic and unconscious. And sometimes they're way underway before we even realize they're happening. And when that's going on, at the heart of it all, at the very bottom level, is the programs. And these are the classic combination of neurons that fire together, wire together. And if they were firing together since you were a little kid, they're firing strong now. And until we deprogram these things, we're going to keep getting sent back to go. Don't collect $200, go right back to go or go directly to jail. And it's like you're starting all over again. And this happens with every human being because every human being has 5 of these traits. Some people call them beliefs. Some of them call them limiting beliefs. But they're hardwired into our unconscious. And one of our objectives during Breakthrough Academy is to unwire one of them at a time and replace them. So I will review this every single time because this alignment process is so important to making our outcomes and our goals come true. But don't feel bad. We all have them, but identifying them and doing something about them is something we can control. All right. In case you've been sleeping, fitness has evolved. It is no longer losing weight, putting on more muscle, decreasing body fat, lowering blood pressure, lowering cholesterol. Those are all great, and they still matter. But authentic quantum fitness, and that's what Lifelike Fitness has always been about. Now, if you even look up fitness in the dictionary now, it's going to give you all kinds of new definitions besides the old one. It's more than physical health. It's mental, emotional, spiritual. It is the whole encompassing fitness package. And my firm belief, you have to start with the physical. Well, it's pretty much science-based too. If your body's broken down and dead, you can't do the others. And if your body's not functional, your brain doesn't work well, your emotions are out of whack. But the bottom line is fitness is no longer just working out and eating right. Fitness in 2023 going forward has a whole new meaning. And Lifesite's vision has always been to do that. So 6 sides, 6 segments, I call them now. I'm trying to think of the right word. 6 segments of authentic fitness. And I call it Lifelike. And Lifelike is synonymous with quantum energy, that the very powerful energy we can't see, but it's there, or spiritual energy. They're synonymous. So you hear the word Lifelike, think the power that we can't see that's greater than us. I like to call it the quantum stuff. I'm not religious, but I am super spiritual pertaining to the powers we can tap into that connects all of us that sometimes we argue about more than tap into. So 6 segments. Here they are. Physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, relationship, and financial. Let's face it, if we're going to be successful in today's world, we need to be successful in all 6 of these areas. Are there more? Absolutely. But they're going to be branches of this. Now, I already know if you're on this call, you want to improve your physical. And I have spent a career learning that. But little did anyone know, I was spending a career also improving the mental and the emotional, because if you don't change your mindset, all changes to our physical body will be temporary. And when emotions are running haywire and not aligned with what we want to do with our bodies and our lives, those emotions can throw us way off track and keep us off track and prevent us from doing what we need to. And I am the fitness program that addresses the spiritual, aka the quantum stuff, and relationship, and eventually financial. The last one is the one I'm least qualified to get you immediate results in. All the other 5, I am completely qualified, and it would be an injustice not to provide all those segments to you. And I call them segments instead of branches, subsets, parts, or categories, because when all 6 segments connect and they are all working to a level you're happy with, that's success. That's authentic power. And that's what the warrior training is all about. It all starts with the body, and then we build from there. And sometimes we have to train harder in some areas than others. Like some people need to train harder on the body. Some people need more on their mental fitness, some on their spiritual fitness. And I'll tell you what, and it will change from year to year, because 2 years ago, if you have asked me, how's your relationship fitness? I would have said it is locked in. That is like one of my strongest things. But today, no, I've had to learn more about it. I've had to learn what caused my recent divorce and what my part was, what I have to learn from that, take away from it. And so now relationship fitness is something I'm focused on. But these are all 6 elements that humans need to feel fulfilled. And my definition of success is fulfillment. I love Earl Nightingale's definition that success is the progression towards a worthy goal or ideal. And I feel like success, broadly defined, is fulfillment. You have a scale of 1 to 100 in all these areas. And when all of them are the number that fulfills you, say you need a 70% there and 90 there and 90 there, but you're okay with 60 there, and you're okay with 60 there, but you need a 90 there. And when they're all of that area, then that's success. So success looks different for everybody. So besides getting rid of the belly fat, besides getting stronger, besides getting healthier, speeding up our metabolism, we are in warrior training. We want to be physically strong, mentally strong, emotionally strong, spiritually strong, relationship strong, and financially strong. That is success and fulfillment. And what you'll find is they're all connected. They're all connected. Now there's something, and though it's not listed here, and it's what I want to spend some time on, not just today, but perhaps in 1 or 2 more courses to come, is there's a light share warrior quality that is absolutely essential for all 6 of these. For all 6 of these, this one thing has to be dialed in. And I bet you know who it is. I bet you know what it is. Who wants to take a guess on what this thing is? It's something you do, you know you need to do better at and do more of, or maybe you already do it great, but I have recently learned to neglect it. Absolutely hurts all these areas, especially the first 3. Want to take a guess, Deb? Rowena?
I was going to say emotionally.
Well, that's already here. It actually lends to your emotional strength. It lends to your mental, your physical, your spirituality, your relationships, even helps your finances. And if you don't pay attention to it, those things get neglected. But good guess. And thank you for being courageous to go for it.
Having goals.
Goals, that's how we get started here. And I would say that's something to align all of these components. There's something so simple.
Oh, how about your why?
That's your purpose. Okay. This is a thing you do every day.
Have a plan.
Here it is. Sleep. Introducing your newest warrior's weapon, the Sleep Sensei. Now, I am super passionate about this because I wore it like a badge of honor. I could get by on 5 hours of sleep, 4 hours of sleep, and I'm still going strong. I can do it. I'm special. I don't need the sleep that everyone else does. Now, I got to work directly with Andrew Huberman, which I'm so grateful for. Like, I don't spend a lot of money on my clothes. I spend a lot of money on food. I don't spend a lot of money on many things, but I spend a lot of money on learning. And when I got to work directly with him, I also got to work indirectly with Dr. Gina Poe, Dr. Charles Scheiser, Dr. Michael Gardner, and Dr. Alan Pack, all of them sleep experts. And over the last 4 months, I actually made sleep a priority because I could not get my emotions under check. And as it turned out, sleep has a direct impact on emotions. Now, the big question, how much sleep do we need per night? I'm here to answer it. I'm going to give you specific answers. And again, I learned this stuff from the experts, but more importantly, I applied it to my own life. And that's the only reason I can comfortably and confidently and authentically teach you. All right, here's the truth. If you are strength training, if you are changing your hormones or metabolism, if you're learning a new skill, if you're developing any kind of neural reprogramming, such as breaking an old habit, an old belief, or acquiring a new habit or a new belief, if you don't get, well, here's the caveat. You won't always get 7, but you must allow the space, time, and environment for your body to get at least 7 if it needs it. Some people will even allow for 8. 8's better. 7 is the viable minimum. So to think that you can get by on 5 or 6 hours of sleep and be optimized mentally, physically, emotionally, or any other way is a lie. So I'm telling you as clear as I can, not budgeting 7 hours of sleep at least and giving your body the chance to sleep 7 hours is doing an injustice to all the other areas, all the other segments of success. Now, here's some really big reasons. Number one, all of your brain restructuring and reprogramming happens while you're sleeping. So if you learn something, the new neural pathways get laid down while you're sleeping. If you unlearn something, say breaking a bad habit, those neural pathways get atrophied while you're sleeping. You also build new muscle while you're sleeping. And your hormones and metabolism start reprogramming while you're sleeping. And there's many stages to sleep. So if you're only sleeping for 4 or 5 hours, you are cheating yourself out of several of the stages. Now, cognitive reprogramming, metabolism reprogramming, muscle reprogramming, all the fruit of our efforts occur while we're sleeping. Now, if you are anything like me, you had reasons why you were special snowflake and didn't have to have sleep like everyone else. And one of these reasons you might relate to, maybe more than one. Mine was, I was special. I had superpowers. I did not need to sleep like a normal human being. And sleep was a low priority. And I underestimated how valuable sleep was. I thought sleep was something you could do when you die, something you can do when you didn't have anything else to do. And then I never prioritized it. I did not create time for sleep. You have to create time for sleep. It doesn't just happen. And then you have to decide to value sleep over thinking. So many people have sleep issues because they're spending so much time in their monkey mind thinking about the same thoughts that they thought about all day long already. And they're thinking about the same way, getting the same results, but we keep thinking about it on repeat. And then pretending that we're immune to it, that sleep deprivation is not going to hurt us. And then I can go on, but look at this list and see what excuse did you use? And then realize it was an excuse. I'm telling you with all the certainty of the world, to neglect sleep is to neglect all the other segments of success in your life. But it's work. For me, it's been work. But my emotions, my cognitive processing, my energy, my body fat percent, everything has improved since I've made the commitment to honor 7 hours of sleep. And I also learned how to do that instead of just, I need to get more sleep. Everyone says it. I need to get more sleep. I need to get more sleep. But there's ways to do it. Now, I am not going to go through all the details because it would take forever. So we're going to break it up into several different courses. But refusing to prioritize sleep makes us fat and sickly. Increased health problems. The hormone disruption alone is enough. Your hormones don't get to regulate. You do not get to enjoy the benefits of your fasting as much when you are not sleeping. Metabolism slows down. Glucose metabolism is a huge part of the GH fast advantage. So by not honoring sleep, you're not optimizing that. And then inflammation, not just of your stomach, but also your muscles, your cells. Your body heals when you're sleeping. But the most important part of your body that heals when you're sleeping is your brain. Your immune system goes down. And you are more prone to infections and to sickness. When you do have an injury or a sickness, the healing process slows way down. And the stomach inflammation is a direct impact and result of your gut biome. The microbiome in your gut determines whether you're going to have inflammation, no inflammation, fast digestion, slow digestion, and your gut produces over 80% of your body's serotonin. And serotonin is one of the key feel good, like I feel good, neurotransmitters. So when we have an inflamed gut, our ability to feel happy is diminished. All right, makes you stupid. I made this, I try to make these sensei quotes powerful. In technical terms, impairs cognitive function. This is huge. And when I learned this, I was like, oh my God, what have you been doing, Tom? But I said, focus on now. It's the only thing you can do, control. And I have ever since. So memory, this has such a direct impact on our brain function. I cannot stress it enough. And when I learn something, I learn it. I went all in on learning this. And the evidence again and again and again that our brain will not connect new synapses nearly as fast throughout the day, and definitely doesn't have the time to do it during the night. And that makes a decision making not as good. It's almost like being drunk or on drugs. And then this one was huge. Like, I've always struggled with ADD. Little did I know that my lack of sleep was one of the things that made that struggle harder. And increasing sleep, honoring sleep is what I call it, has changed it significantly. And then, someone says something and you think of the response about an hour later, or you need to come up with a solution and it comes to you later. Well, that speeds up when your brain gets what it needs. Just higher level thinking, being able to come up with new solutions for the same problems or for new problems. And then cognitive flexibility means your conditions change, your situations change, you are given a life scenario that you were not expecting, but instead of freaking out, you're able to adjust and adapt and make that the most of it and stick to your values, your intentions, your goals, your purpose, because you have cognitive flexibility. Your brain is amazing. It is, I'm going to just applaud the brain for a minute, because number one, the brain can change. Neuroplasticity has been proven without a doubt, and you can literally reshape how your brain operates, thinks, and responds, and how fast it responds, regardless of age. Like, I'm in my 50s now, and I thought I'm too old. No, it's not. It just takes diligent, consistent effort. And of course, you're not as productive. And your brain's not working as well. Simply put, your brain does not work as well. And so all those all-nighters we pull in college, or all the time we stay up until 2 in the morning and get up at 6 to do a presentation the next day, we might have got the slideshow done, but we would have been better off letting our body get the sleep it needed so our brain was fully functional. It definitely lowers academic and work performance. All right, I'm going to go over these. I'm going to give you the science-based information next week, because otherwise we're just going to talk about problems the whole time. But neglecting sleep makes you sad, anxious, and crazy. Crazy, hard to be around. That's the emotional part. Weak sleep makes you lazy, weak, and lame. Yes, there's science behind all this. Forsaking sleep will bring about early death and unnecessary injury to yourself and others. Again, Sleep Sensei speaks direct and wants to let you know how important it is, but I will give you the science function to this as well when we talk. And this one is just the increase in injury of people that are sleep deprived is huge compared to people that have the adequate sleep, and early death. Boom. All right, skipping on sleep makes aging suck. Oh my gosh. As you get older, if you've had a lifetime of skipping on sleep or continue to, it makes the aging process even way worse because of muscle deterioration, Alzheimer's, dementia. The onset of cognitive ailments are much higher when we have not got enough sleep. Your impact potential. It makes it so your creativity is gone. You're unable to come up with new spontaneous ideas. You actually become very mundane, boring, and dull when sleep is not honored. All right, what do you do about it? Sleep Sensei says, I like that. What can you do about it? All right, I have a whole, as many problems that sleep deprivation causes, there are solutions. And the first thing is establish a consistent bedtime routine. One of my goals for everyone I work with and coach is a morning routine they do every single day for the rest of their life, and a bedtime routine they do every day for the rest of their life. Because what gets repeated makes a big difference. The small, subtle things that don't give us a dopamine hit or any instant gratification are the ones that add up to big results. So establishing a bedtime routine is your homework for the week. And I'm going to give you some low-hanging fruit that works well and is all backed by science. Okay, some other rules will follow. Follow your schedule rules, consistent schedule rules. During the days, what you do and do's and don'ts during the day when you're awake and doing your normal day, ways you can honor sleep. What you eat and drink during the day and at night. Sleep and fasting. Definitely when you're in fasting, especially when you're in the GH fast, it has an impact on sleep. And we will go into how to work around that and how to use it to your advantage. Prescription drugs. In the event of sleep disorders, I have researched the most commonly prescribed prescription drugs and what's good and bad about each of them. But I want to say in advance, I am not recommending that anyone get on a prescription if they're not, or unless nothing else has worked. I think prescription sleep medication should be your last resort, and it should be temporary, not permanent. Because natural supplements. Oh man, I have something for you next week. Andrew Huberman shared, and I've used it, just a combination of supplements, vitamins you take during the day and right before bed that help promote sleep. And it doesn't do it right away, but going into it, wow. And there's one called Sleep Multiplier that helps give your body the micronutrients, the micro minerals it needs to really facilitate sleep. All right, and the environment. One thing and again, I'm gonna have a whole list on these things. We're gonna just cover one today though. But I would say this, your bed should be used for maybe reading, sleeping, and sex. That's it. And your bedroom, the whole environment before you go to bed has to be managed. You cannot leave it to chance. All right, let's talk about your consistent bedtime routine. This has been the thing that mattered the most. Just because you create time for 7 hours of sleep doesn't mean your body will always sleep for 7 hours. Now, over the last 4 months, I go to bed 10:30, 11 at the latest. And I'm trying to get it to 10:30, 10:45. I do not set an alarm until 6:45 p.m. or a.m. So I get more than enough. I've never woken up by the alarm, ever. I always wake up when my body's ready to wake up. That one thing, that one change of not setting an alarm, because often we will go to bed later because things just keep popping up because we don't honor a nighttime bedtime routine. And then we get up at 5:45 on the dot when the alarm goes off. And we're so groggy and tired. And we're groggy and tired all day long because our body needed more and we didn't give it to it. But when we let our body decide when we wake up, it makes the whole process more natural. Like I woke up this morning at 4 a.m. So way less sleep than usual. The day before was 7, the day before 7.5. So you're going to also measure how often you sleep. And there's great devices now. We can actually measure the quality of your sleep. But again, this is such an in-depth topic that I could spend an hour talking just about sleep quality. But I will say this about sleep quality. I know I'm off topic, but I'll get back on. Your sleep happens in stages. And if you miss any of those stages, for instance, growth hormone gets released in the first phase. But if you go to bed way later than usual, you miss out on that phase. And if you don't ever get into your rapid eye movement or deep sleep, you miss out on the healing and the metabolic processes that happen then. So, and some sleep medications, they cheat you out of several of the phases. So letting your body go through its natural sleep routine and the stages is how you maximize sleep. Sleep is just as important as your workout, as your food, as brushing your teeth. It is not to be just pushed to the side. It has to be honored and practiced. So an hour before bed, go into calm down mode. And I would like to say, turn all your screens off. I intentionally left off when to turn off screens because no one listens. But everyone has their own idea of when their screens go off. And they know they should turn them off, but they don't. The sooner you turn them off, the sooner the blue light and the interaction with the screen helps. And that includes TV. But really, your phone is number one. The sooner you flip your phone over and put it on sleep, the better. Phone, then tablets, then computers, and then TV. And some people like to go to sleep watching TV. Worst thing you can do. Worst thing you can do. If you need stimulus to go to sleep, listen to a calm, audible book or something of that nature. You can listen to words, but watching images on a television is the worst thing you can do for your sleep. No, there's worse, but it's horrible. Don't do it. Don't do it if it's one of your habits. Going to sleep with the TV on, not going to work. Now, I have not taken a warm bath in years. However, it's a really good recommendation. But staying away from arguments, watching TV, especially the news, any vigorous or stimulating activities, just realizing that this is a practice, this is a skill, and you must do certain things differently. So just deciding it has to be calm. Now, one of the big issues, oh yeah, let's see if I did it. Nope, didn't do it yet. One of the big issues is light. So at nighttime, start turning down all the lights. And I mean, ideally, you would have candles and maybe a reading lamp if you're going to read. I have not managed that, but the big light goes off, the other light goes off. I have little lights I turn on. And then first thing in the morning, blast the lights. If you get natural sunlight, get it right away. And I'll go over that more next week. But light in the morning, right away. Natural sunlight whenever possible. Otherwise, turn on all your artificial or unnatural lights in your house and bask in them. Just wake it up. It gets your cortisol going because cortisol in the morning is your best friend. That's how you wake up. Like when you finally wake up and you think it's because your morning coffee, no. The caffeine from the coffee does nothing compared to the cortisol. And the light and the circadian rhythms all determine cortisol going up and cortisol going down. Now, I don't know about you, but I have spent many a night in bed, even if I got to bed on time, sitting there, and a thought will come to my mind about something I didn't do well, something I need to still do, a problem I'm having with a friend or loved one, a problem I'm having with a client, a problem a client's having, something that is unsettled. And after it gets in my brain, it's like I can't shut it down. And sometimes I'll wake up and go to the bathroom and I'll think the thought, I'll be reminded of it. And then I try to go back to sleep and my mind will not shut down. I call it monkey mind. And other people call it monkey mind, where it's like your thoughts are just jumping from branch to branch, swinging, making all kinds of hooting and hollering. And we have to take control of our conscious thinking before our head hits the pillow. And this is where intentional alignment comes in, because we have to do everything within our power to control the things we can control. And we can control our conscious thinking, but we have to go through, it only takes me 10 minutes. It can take 30, it can take 5. And it's the same process. I will teach you to align your intentions, to reprogram the negative thinking and negative beliefs and traits. And this one, the full intention is aligning our intention. And I want you to think of that. It's our intention, not just to go to sleep and not worry about going to sleep, but our intention to maximize our sleep, to get we want to commit to a night of healing, getting stronger, letting our brain rewire. So the work we do before going to bed, we're making a commitment to actually honor sleep and to create the best mental and emotional environment for sleep to occur. Because our conscious thinking is the biggest sleep disturbance beyond us creating time for sleep. It's our conscious thinking. And we can't just expect it to stop on its own. So it is time to practice. I'm going to teach you, because part of your bedtime routine is 5 to 10 minutes of alignment. And again, I've taken meditation / prayer / neural reprogramming and cognitive behavior therapy and consolidated and synthesized it into a practice that I can do in 10 minutes. That way I can teach others to do it in 10 minutes. That way there's never a time reason not to do it. Now, before we go on to that, when I teach you how to do your bedtime alignment practice, does anybody have any questions? One of the reasons I'm asking that is so I can redo the share and share sound. That way you can hear the meditation music. Oh, wrong share. One of these presentations is not complete without some technical glitches.
Hey, Coach Tom. So we've been using the Calm app for going to sleep sometimes, but we have it on our TV, and I understand now that the light affecting sleep. So
yeah, you're better off just doing the sound.
Yeah.
Just sounds, because the darker your room is, the better.
Okay.
The darker it is and the cooler it is. I'm going to go over environment next week.
Mm-hmm.
But you want dark, cool. You want the room set up all for success, for sleep success. Like, just to control your environment as much as possible. It tells your body, your brain, and your whole physiology, okay, it's sleepy time.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, good question. All right. So your homework, your training task is to establish your own nighttime, bedtime routine. And you don't have to do it perfectly. You just have to do it consistently. Even if all you do is turn off your screens and get to bed in time to get 7 hours of sleep at least, and do this alignment I think this is the most important thing to get your mind ready to sleep. I'm not sure why I gave you your homework now. I'll come back to it again. Oh, yeah. You have a lot of warrior weapons to work with now. Jeez. Because I'm getting ready to go to war. All right. I want you to know that this is not about doing it correctly or right, but there's some things that really help. One is spine straight, jaw relaxed, and remember your breath is your guide. We're going to calm down the vagus nerve, and the breath is the best way to do that. And despite common words and teaching on meditation or alignment or mindfulness, don't worry about your thoughts. If they come, they come. Let them go. And don't worry about doing it right. Don't worry about accomplishing. The less you think, the better. The more you align and just let your natural energy kick in, the better. All right. So this is your bedtime alignment, which will be similar to other alignments we've done. Without any further ado, go ahead and breathe in nice and fast and aggressively, even like almost violently through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. Fast and furious through your nose. And as slowly as you can through your mouth. Should keep doing that for a minimum of 4 breaths, but we're going to go for about 10. Because after 10, your vagus nerve really gets activated and your whole sympathetic nervous system calms down. Your brain does not have nearly as much to think about. Try to even accelerate the inhale through your nose and decelerate and slow down the exhale. On this next breath in, as you exhale, I want you to think about exhaling thoughts, stress, worries, fears, any sort of drama or trauma in your brain. Just let it out. Now, with each breath in, we're going to focus on a body part. We're going to focus on the left leg. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, you're going to breathe out all the tension, stress in your left leg. And through this, you've noticed this energy, this calm, peaceful, authentic energy. I like to think of it as visualize as bright, shiny, golden light. As you inhale, you're inhaling that light, that energy, that quantum stuff, that spiritual stuff. Inhale it, and let's inhale it right into our right leg now. And as you exhale, any tension, stress, soreness, or injury, or inflammation from that right leg goes out. Now we're going to breathe that light into our stomach area. And the more you can visualize the light and the body area with your conscious thinking, the better. This is definitely a deliberate practice. You're going to breathe out any inflammation from your tummy, any inflammation from your belly, any sort of soreness, worry, or doubt. We're going to go to our stomach again. And this time, think of it as your solar plexus, your whole torso. Just inhale that golden, shiny, bright quantum light. And exhale, worry, doubt from your stomach. Yeah, we store it there. Our stomach has a brain of its own. Now you're breathing. You don't have to be as aggressive. You just have to be deliberate on the inhale and the exhale. But the light is what we care about. Feel the light, see the light, know it's there. And at any color you want it, breathe it in. You're going to breathe it into your heart. Let it go in there and purify your blood. Just energize your blood. Heal your blood. Healing all the cells of your body because your heart pumps to your whole body. And then breathing out any toxins, anything that does not serve the healthiest, strongest version of you. We're going to go to our heart again and breathe in that positive quantum spiritual light. Hold it for a bit and breathe out any heartache, any pain, any stress, any worry. Just let it out. Now go to our neck. Breathe in and feel your neck just relax with that shiny light and heal. If there's any soreness or stiffness, the light's healing it. You're breathing out that soreness, that tension. If you don't feel like you got it on the first one, you're doing this on your own, feel free to do another one. Breathe in through your nose. Energize. Enlighten your neck area, especially where your neck connects down to your shoulders, your traps. And breathe out all the tension. Now we're going to breathe in, really charged light now, because we're aligning our vibration and our quantum alignment with power greater than us. We're going to breathe in this bright, shiny, golden, sparkly light to where our neck meets our brain. We're going to really focus on our amygdala, our emotional system. We're going to just light it up. We're going to invigorate it with these healthy, authentic cells of energy. And as we breathe out, all the negative emotions, especially the reoccurring ones, we don't need to think about them. We don't need to label them. Just need to breathe out the feeling. And do that again. Breathe in that charged, energetic, authentic, glowy, shiny, sparkly light into our bottom of our brain where it meets the neck. Let it empower it, invigorate it, and energize it. And exhale fears, expectations, plans. Exhale your to-do list. And breathe in more light, that shiny, healing light. And we're going to breathe it to the top, middle part of our brain. We're going to energize all of the thoughts that we're thinking, the memories we put there, everything that's positively or possibly going to be negative or cause us stress. We're going to invigorate with that light. And we're going to breathe out that feeling of stress, worry, anxiety. All right, with this one, I'm going to really inhale a big amount of light. Inhale it right to the top front part, our prefrontal cortex, the processing area. And we're just going to light it up. And as it lights up, it calms down. And we're going to exhale all the thoughts. We're going to breathe the light back into that area, the top front of our heads. This time we're going to breathe in, just calming, powering, authentic, healing light. And we're going to breathe out all of our thoughts. Now let your breathing find its own rhythm. And I want you to keep breathing in light and breathing it into that part of the brain we were just talking about. And as you breathe it in, imagine the lights calming it down. And your brain's like, I get to relax. I get to feel this energetic love. Thank you. You breathe out the tension, breathe out the stress. You let your brain, it has permission not to work on any problems, any to-dos, any worries for the next 8 hours. And breathe in again. Just trying to bring in calm. You're going to think the words calm, connected, calm, connected. And as you breathe out, don't think about what you're breathing out. Just breathe out whatever feelings come up. And if thoughts do come, don't label them. Don't talk to them. Just breathe them out. Your brain deserves a break. It deserves some healing of its own, some downtime, some time to be loved on. And that's how we can love on it. Breathing in this light, pure love and light. And we're just infusing our whole headspace with it. And anything left over, we just breathe out. Now we're going to breathe that into our whole body, starting with our head, our neck, our heart. Just infuse it with this calm, connected light. And as you breathe in again, you're going to promise and make a loving affirmation with your body and brain that you will take care of them. You will give them the space and the peace to heal. You honor this healing time, and you will stay out of the way and let them do what they need to do. Now as you breathe in, I give myself, my whole authentic self, this healing time to heal, reprogram, realign. Breathe in again. Hold it for a bit. And as you breathe out, the tension goes out. Any thoughts that want to go out, leave as well. And now as breathing finds its own natural rhythm, each time you're breathing in, it's this calming, loving, healing light. It's always there. It's always there for you. But now you're making a sacred pact with yourself to allow sleep to be your priority the next 7-8 hours, where your only job is to give yourself permission to heal, to give yourself permission to go through the processes of becoming your best self that happen while you're sleeping, to let go of anything that might stand in the way. It's a sacred agreement you're making, and giving yourself permission to make honoring sleep your highest priority for the next 7 or 8 hours. No matter what else comes up, you're going to honor your brain, your body, and yourself, your authentic whole self. And all the parts, they love you for it. You love you for it. Because you're loving you, you're taking care, it's self-help at its best. And you're letting nature do what it does. All you have to do is enjoy the ride. And even if you don't do it perfect, your sleep success is a continuum. As long as you're a little bit better than you were before, And as long as when you notice yourself going the wrong way on the continuum, you immediately take the breaths and start pushing yourself in the positive continuum direction, your body and your brain and your heart and your love and your light, they all just thank you. Everything's working together. The chaos and the turmoil, it's gonna wait till morning. Everything's in unison and in alignment of how important this is to your purpose, your passion, your why, your health, and the impact you're going to have on so many other people. When was the last time you invite your subconscious to have a ball, to do what it does, to solve problems behind the scenes, and they'll be available for you the next day? And on your next breath, you invite that conscious mind, that's that prefrontal cortex in the top front, just to chill and relax. It's going to have so much work to do tomorrow, but this is its time to relax. And if there's any part of your body that's been aching or causing you trouble, this next breath you're going to dedicate to that. And just breathe in the healing light, the healing love. Let it infuse it. And it thanks you. It's like, thank you for giving me this attention. Thank you for dedicating the next 7 or 8 hours to me. And I like to say, I got you. Breathe out and smile about it. Everything's smiling. Your cells are smiling. So you truly are aligning with this loving light that's always there. Just on your own, breathe in that light. Try to feel a natural tingle in your body and breathe out. Because now you're sharing this positive light with every exhale. So others can benefit from your positivity. Feel that energy. You are aligned with your purpose of sleeping to heal, to get stronger, to grow. And every time you exhale, that light's helping your immediate environment and who knows who else. You're putting out positive now. And remind yourself, I don't need to be perfect. I can be average, but be aligned and be connected and be authentic and be peaceful and make the most of this night's sleep. Even if it doesn't go perfectly. My intentions are going to make it better and better and better. I'm always improving. Now this light comes from someplace. Wherever that place is, if you know that you can thank the place, I just like to say arigato, thank you. And it thanks us back because we're sharing it. We're sharing it with whoever else needs it, whoever else is open to it at this time. One more time, arigato, thank you. And as you feel your new state of body and mind, you're going to rub your hands on your heart, your shoulders. You're almost going to give yourself a little hug. Breathe in. When you're ready, you're going to open your eyes. And smile. And you put your head on your pillow.
You'll need to continue on your personal device.
Ah,
Oh,
that
thank you.
will help your nighttime sleep.
We are definitely going to incorporate that, Coach Tom. I had him join me.
Hey, Tony.
Hey.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, please always have him join you. I'm offended if he doesn't. Rebecca, happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday.
You're just in time for questions. We just finished up the presentation, but it's all recorded.
Oh, okay.
Did you know it started at 8 a.m.?
I thought it started at 9, so that's okay.
Oh, darn it. So you thought you were on time. I really, well, 8 a.m. Each Saturday. I haven't missed one. I will not miss one. So hopefully you're there for the next one. But does anybody have any questions or takeaways from today? Deb, I saw that you went off but came back on. Welcome back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It just all went down.
It happens. Was it in the middle of the alignment exercise?
It was at the end.
Well, luckily it's all recorded.
Yes.
Okay, any questions about today's or any questions about your GH fasting, your strength training, or anything of that? Anything I can help you with at all? Okay, Rowena is out. How about you? Just me and you, Deb. Any questions? Yeah, you got me one-on-one.
No, I don't. It definitely is giving me pause every week about choices of food, particularly as I'm at work or like this week we had a dinner. It's not food I would have cooked for myself, and so it tends to put me out of where I want to be. But I also, in doing my timed eating protocol, I looked at it very differently this week in writing it down. I've been writing it all in my journal and thinking that things are great, but I was looking at really more of the eating window and seeing that I might not be where I should be.
Can you give me an example?
Yeah, I've been waiting until like 1:30 to eat. But then on those days that I am late at work, I don't get to my dinner until 7 o'clock at night. And so the eating window is longer, 6 hours, although I'm not eating totally during that. I get a breakfast and a dinner.
Okay. Now, how hungry are you at 1:30?
I think it's a mental game because I've been noticing lately, like I see the clock and I'm like, I'm really, really hungry. And the same thing happened yesterday. And I got really busy doing something else. And then by the time I thought it was time to eat, I was like, I'm not really that hungry. I can wait longer.
Here's what I'd like you to do. I would like you to, every other day, don't eat until your late dinner. Don't eat. Just try to wait until dinner to eat and see if your body will cooperate. Because it is a mental game. And the longer you can extend your postpone the food, the quicker your body's going to shift into fat metabolism. It's like what we're doing now, we're dabbling with it. We're kind of getting it ready to, but we're going to have to extend it past that, that 8-hour eating window, 7-hour eating window. And if you're starving, either if it's physical hunger, for sure eat, because that means we're not ready to stretch it out yet. But if it's psychological, mental hunger, if you need to give in and eat, go ahead, but be aware that that's why. And this is progressive. It's not an all or nothing thing, because when your body naturally shifts and changes, it's so much easier to do after that. But if we rush it or hurry it, or it's an all or nothing thing, it's so much harder to do because I did it yesterday, yay, but it's gonna be hard to do it again today. After your body becomes good at shifting and using fat for energy to power your brain, your body, and your daily functions, you stop thinking about food. Only when people have it around you, and then even then you realize I'm postponing food in order to accelerate metabolism. I'm postponing food for a purpose, and I'm getting my metabolic hormones dialed in, so I can actually have way more freedom and flexibility. But
And then on those days that you postpone it till late dinner, then you only get one meal.
I want you to think of terms like, yes, to answer that question. That's what I do every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have dialed it in where it's just 1 2-hour meal a day, and it's a great meal. I start with celery and avocado dip, and I always have a really good protein and 4 different vegetables. And yeah, I tend not to have any starchy carbs whatsoever.
And
But
what is the definition of starchy carbs? Like potatoes and
yes,
sweet potatoes and pasta.
yes.
I really don't have much of that in my repertoire of eating. I mean, every once in a while I would,
Let's do a
but
quick rundown. What's your what are some foods you eat that might be suspect, that might raise insulin?
well, I haven't eaten them in a while. I mean, I like muffins, I like pancakes. Um,
Okay, so
those
those are
types of things.
choice foods.
Those are what?
Choice foods. Like
Choice
some people
foods.
call them cheat meals, choice foods. Those will
Oh,
do
okay.
absolutely nothing for your health.
Well, I use the protein. I mean, there are like the stuff that I make it's the Kodiak cakes because they have protein in them, more protein than carbs, but they still have lots of carbs in them.
Right. It's the start. Those are the starchy carbs.
Okay.
So
So then I think if
adding
go ahead.
protein to a starchy carb doesn't take away that it's going to impact your insulin.
Okay.
So what we're thinking about is not the calories.
No.
We're thinking about the impact it has on your insulin. And the idea that our objective is to consistently lower insulin day after day, week after week. So our baseline insulin level is lower every week. And so say we're doing great, but then we throw in some starchy carbs. Your baseline insulin level is not low enough yet to rebound from that very quickly. So for a period of time, the less we eat any starchy carbs, the better we're doing. But when we get your baseline insulin levels down, you absolutely, especially after a GH fast, you never want to have starchy carbs as the first calories you eat after a fasted period, but you definitely can have it, and your insulin will re-regulate within a day or two.
And how do you know when your insulin levels are down?
Your belly fat goes away. Your belly
I-
fat starts shrinking.
I see.
You can also take easy insulin blood sugar tests and see where it's at. But honestly, it's your belly fat will start going down. You can go longer periods of time without eating, and you're not hungry, you're not ravenous, you're not feeling like, oh my God, I feel so lethargic. Because first is when you postpone food, it's the hunger. Oh my God, I'm so hungry. And then when you get past that, it's, oh, I feel so tired. I'm not that hungry, but I feel so tired and weak. That's insulin. Insulin's saying, give me more glucose, give me more blood sugar. But when you downregulate it, you won't get those hunger signals anymore. And you won't get these feelings of lethargy or feeling like you're hungover. Instead, you'll be like, wow, I wonder how long I could go without eating. I probably don't even need to eat dinner. I can, you could actually, your body's burning fat now. But your body will not burn fat when insulin's in your system.
Mm-hmm. And is squash, like zucchini squash, considered a starchy carb?
No, but it is one of the starchier carbs.
Okay.
It is one of the starchiest vegetables.
Okay.
But I would go to, because really, if I were to speak in just direct terms without trying to freak out any of our clients, the faster we can get your body, your insulin levels baseline low, the better. So the more you can stick to green leafy vegetables, lots of them, by the way, healthy fats, lean proteins, the faster we're gonna get your baseline insulin down, and the better this all goes.
Okay.
But
Okay.
to tell someone, by the way, you can just eat healthy fats, healthy protein, and all green leafy vegetables. No squash, none of those, just the spring mixed lettuce, which I eat a lot of, the broccoli, Brussels sprouts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is not appealing. So people can go into it easier, but the faster they teach their body to shift, man, the happier life gets.
Okay. See, those are all vegetables I like anyhow, but I do, as I'm thinking about my garden, I do plant zucchini and do a lot of things with zucchini.
So you say you wanted to have zucchini, you would have first have your vegetables, your green leafy vegetables, have some of your protein, and then have the zucchini in the middle of the meal.
Okay.
And have less of the zucchini than the other carbs. But yeah, you absolutely can. Don't let it go to waste. That's going to have a very small impact on the insulin.
I haven't planted my garden yet, but I'm anticipating of trying to figure out.
Well, and I anticipate, within 3 to 4 months, you're going to have a huge drop in your insulin levels.
Okay.
Like, it will take probably a year to get them as low as you want, but 3 or 4 months, you're going to notice a difference in the way your body metabolizes food and your belly fat and in your weight.
Okay.
Now, one important thing is, how do you feel you're doing with your healthy fats?
I struggle with them because I've trained myself so far not to eat the fats.
Right. Yes.
Really hard. I do mostly more proteins. And so that has been more challenging, though I have it. I mean, I have the coconut oil that I put into some of my drinks. I have, I like avocados, and so that works very nicely. And I can usually just do avocados and lemon juice and some spices. It doesn't need a lot of other things.
Agreed.
And I'm not much of a butter person, because if you put butter on, I usually think of butter with bread, and I try to stay away from that because that is no good for
Have you
that.
tried melting grass-fed salted butter on broccoli?
I haven't, because I don't really need that flavor.
No, but you do need the healthy calories. By the way, fat is the cleanest burning fuel you can put in your body. And fat also does not spike insulin at all. Protein does. So eating more protein, like in the typical weight loss diet, you're actually slowing down progress a tiny bit because you're spiking insulin unnecessarily. As long as you get the protein amount to maintain your muscle mass, which you do, most of your calories, and the reason you won't be hungry later, is from the fat.
Okay.
So the avocados are great. Do you like eggs?
I do.
Eggs are great. Eggs are like, but make sure you get the eggs from chickens who ate grass and not corn, because then you're eating corn. So just the range eggs.
Okay.
They cost $1 or $2 more, but it's definitely worth it for your insulin.
Okay.
How about strength training?
Well, I do some CrossFit, but I'm rethinking that as well. As I've, they do a lot of things that's for the group, and I'm not really the age of what the big group is. I mean, many times it's a good workout, but I've been relooking at some of that about, should I be doing more of the fitness from your program to do for strength training?
Here's your ideal workout for progress. It is, say you're doing deadlifts, say you're doing chest press. You do 10 reps on your first set at a medium low weight. Next set, you go 6 reps at a medium heavy rate. Next set, 4 reps at a heavy weight. And your last 2 sets, Deb, here we go, as heavy as you can go without compromising form. Like, you, on your second set of 2, you should not be able to do both of them. That is what's going to accelerate your progress the most. It literally is, my workouts are so much faster, and it's a whole new way of thinking about it, because you're not working out to burn calories. You're really working out to activate the mitochondria and stimulate muscle growth.
Mm-hmm.
And you can definitely do cardio and stuff on top of that for fun and to burn some calories, but that the calories you burn is not making you lose fat.
Mm-mm.
And the CrossFit workouts, unless they're gonna maintain muscle and give you a feeling of overall fitness, but they're not going to do what we need them to do. So
Okay.
you can do almost any type of workout in conjunction with these 3 strength training workouts a week. And the 3 strength training workouts can be 4 exercises, 2 exercises, it can be 1 exercise. Now, if you're doing something with body weight, it's harder because then you have to go until failure and do your last 2 reps, even though you're shaking and everything's hard. But if you have weights, you can actually go up in weight. It's helpful. And same with TRX, you can keep changing your foot placement until you get to that really hard resistance. But you have to get to the done rep where you really can't complete it without cheating. And so you stop mid rep instead and hold it for 4 counts.
Okay. I don't think I've been given any of the strength training from you.
You have to get in the course, Deb.
Oh, I see.
Like the course, everything I'm saying to you, I've made videos for in the course. You can take
Okay.
any workout, say the workouts are
So
not.
I can do that. I can just go pick and choose what I need to do in order to
Yes.
do what I
You,
see.
you
I
can
didn't
do the
realize that.
same workout. You're going to have an upper body pushing workout, an upper body pulling workout, a lower body workout. You can do the same pusher workout the whole time.
Okay.
As long as you're increasing your load.
Okay.
It's just so simple. I have a guy that hates the program because the workouts are too simple. They're too, he's lost 15 pounds, but he hates it because the workouts aren't like Peloton or whatever. But I am going to give you the path that's going to yield the most results for what you're trying to do. And I'm not going to give you a lot of bells and whistles unless you want them. But the most important thing is the strength training where you really get to those last rep where you can't complete it. You don't hurt yourself.
How often do I need to do the strength training per week?
3 times.
3 times per week. Okay.
And so when we first talked, I definitely wanted to tell you all this then, but I've learned the hard way that if I try to sway them from what they're already doing to what I know will work best too soon, especially something like CrossFit, it kind of freaks them out. So I definitely learned to wait until the results plateau and make the suggestion, or wait until it's brought up by the client. But I would eventually direct you in this direction.
Well, I mean, I've always there are certain days I don't go because there's just no practice for walking on my hand and muscle ups. That's never going to happen. I can practice every day, all day for 20 more years, and it's never going to happen. So some of that I'm like going, that's great, but except it doesn't really meet what I'm looking for.
Now, do you ever go to a gym to work out, or do you work out at your house?
I guess I work out of the house, but the weights that I have are they're old. They were from my son. And so the plates aren't as big as some of the other plates are like at the gym. So trying to do some of the deadlifts, I need to elevate that. Otherwise, it seems like I'm actually hurting myself more doing it that way.
Oh, I see what you mean.
They're the smaller old weights. So they're even the 12 and a half are smaller in diameter than.
I would just buy 2 25-pound bumper plates, and that will solve your problem. Because the 2 25 bumper plates will give you 95 pounds on the bar altogether. And then you can add all the other weights onto that, no problem.
Well, that's fine for my deadlift. It's not so great for if I'm doing overhead or anything like that.
Yeah, but you don't need to worry about lifting it from the ground on the overhead or the bench press or anything else.
True enough. True. Okay.
Oh
Um,
man, you doing bar workouts. I would love to see your bench press go from, 65 pounds up to 85 pounds over the next 4 weeks.
Well, my PR is 100.
Oh shoot, sorry, Deb. I didn't know.
No, it's only been happening like about 3 months ago.
So
It just
getting
became a
that, that's exactly what we're doing. Like we do bench press once a week, and our goal is to get that PR from 100 to 140, 120 over the period, and that's our goal. Like
Okay.
your whole objective when you get on that bench press is to get to those reps where you can lift the maximum amount your body's capable of that time.
Okay.
All the sets prior to that is just to get you safe, get you loosened, activate the muscles. But we're going 10, 6, 4, 2, 2. That's like strength training pyramid there.
And is there much rest in between those?
As much as you need,
Okay, just what
but
I
not
need.
too much.
Yeah.
I like to do abs in between,
Okay.
but definitely rest the muscle. This is not the superset mentality right now. Like right now, it's like how strong can we get your body? How much muscle can we build?
Okay.
Great questions.
This is helpful. Okay.
Well,
And this think about these good fats things. Okay. I'll have to relook at some of that again.
don't even question it. Don't even think about it. Make it happen. And if you don't like it, keep altering it till you do, because it's that good for you.
Okay.
And it's going to help your body go into fat burning more rapidly, and it will give you more sustained energy.
Okay.
Because if you're going to eat one meal a day, which eventually you will, having the fat calories is going to help you have a more calorie dense meal without bloating or stuffing yourself.
Yeah. I've noticed when I've done one meal a day, it's lighter in fat. Although when I've looked at it, I've added the coconut oil and things like that. I'm not quite sure how well that helps with
It
good
helps.
fat.
If I could give you your fast track right now, which I normally don't do, but I feel like you're ready for it, it would be one meal a day, 50% of it fat, eat until you are absolutely satisfied, and let your body do its thing the next day, and let it start naturally going into fat burning, lipolysis, and gluconeogenesis, and start using fat for energy throughout the day, and then do that one meal when you're ready. And don't think about eating. Just know that when you do, it's going to be like a ceremonial event. Have it in 3 courses if you like, have it fun, but the more time we go without eating and the closer we get to 50% of your calories from fat when we do eat, the faster this will go for you.
Okay. That's good. That's a good goal of where the plan's going. Okay.
Yep. And get in the course. All this stuff I'm telling you is all in your course.
Yes, I've done some of it, and then I was locked out for a little while, and then some of it I've seen has opened up. So I just need to get back into that. I will get back into that.
Yeah, and feel free if there's things you'd like to see me add to it,
Okay.
things you'd like to make it even more clear. Like I want that course to be enough. Like if I were to be abducted by aliens, I want people to still be able to do this. So
Okay.
you're super smart and super I would say you communicate well without pulling punches, but at the same time in a way that's helpful more than critical. So I really appreciate your feedback.
Okay.
And I want to see your bench press get up to 140.
That would
I
be
did lift
great.
345 last night for the first time in forever. Because I don't want to hurt my back, I don't want to hurt my joints. So I've been going like 225. But I said, Tom, you know better. Just do what you need to do. Do the same thing you tell your clients. So all my workouts have been that way. And I don't feel sore at all today.
Yeah. I also, when I get to that 100, I've always had a spotter because I'm like, I'm not going, and my bench press is old. And so where my hands go are different than when I do it at the CrossFit gym. So it's a little bit different, but it works. And so, okay.
One thing you might do I mean, we will have the workouts planned. So a trainer would not have to plan them for you, but they would spot you and they would know how much you could go up, and like a good trainer would know how much you can go up safely based on your last set.
Yeah.
But having a designated spotter 1 day a week
Okay.
could be really, because we could do bench press and overhead press on those days, and we could do other things don't need a spotter on the other days.
Yeah, my overhead press is kind of crappy, but I had shoulder rotator cuff repair, and it just hasn't come back as strong. It's more of like a struggle, push, but
Well,
but
do you have dumbbells as well?
yeah, I do.
Yeah, for shoulder then, because you've had the rotator cuff, don't mess with the straight bar.
No, it works better with dumbbells. I can
Yeah.
tell that I'm weaker on one side, and that just needs to strengthen up.
And do you have a TRX?
I have a cheaper form of TRX, but yes, I do.
Okay, because we can do a lot with shoulders there too, just to rehabilitate it. I have shoulder workouts there to rehabilitate it for you.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
Deb. I hope that was helpful for you.
Very helpful. Very helpful.
That's what I like to be. Very helpful. Very helpful talk. All right, awesome.
It still doesn't get me away that I want to have a lemon muffin. I'm just craving lemon, and I'm craving that. And I'm like, I just have to get out of that mindset.
Is it in your house?
It's not. That's the funny thing. It's not in my house.
Well, do this. Write down the date, March 9th, and say that if you follow everything, the rules, you're going to have the lemon muffin on March 9th. Just write it down in your journal, and this works really good. And so you're going to basically put some rules in place. If you stick to these disciplines, which are uncomfortable and new, until then, you can have the muffin on March 9th. And if we are having the muffin on March 9th, we'll do it in a way that has the least amount of impact on your insulin levels.
I've already been looking for recipes for that. So,
well, you know what? It doesn't actually have to be. If we can get a muffin that's made with stevia or Splenda instead of real sugar, that's for step one. And step two, I would say just don't make it a huge muffin, but you don't really have to worry about the other ingredients because you don't have to add protein to the muffin.
That's funny. Yep.
Make it a tasty muffin because it's almost just as tasty with the stevia now as it was without it. So as long as it doesn't have actual sugar, that's going to be a step in the right direction. But we can plan it. That's how it works with cravings. When you crave like that, you plan it out, but you plan it based on you're working to a reward because you're doing uncomfortable disciplines.
Okay. And why do you like stevia versus like the monk fruit sugar?
I like any sweetener with 0 calories.
Okay. I think monk fruit does that too.
I hate saccharin because I just don't like the way it tastes.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I've done the research. None of them are bad for humans.
Okay.
Don't believe the hype. That's the sugar industry wanting us to use more sugar.
Yeah. I've kind of gone away, except for when I make my cookies for my dad.
I bet he wouldn't notice. Maybe he would. No, I don't want to mess with that. Yeah, you do your thing, girl.
He's 92 and will be 93 in a couple months. So whatever's been working for him has worked well for him.
Yes. It's working for you too. I love your questions. I love your diligence. I promise you your life will be different as long as you keep doing the boring, consistent things.
Okay. Sounds good. I thank you. I appreciate your time.
Oh, I appreciate you too, Deb. Have a wonderful Saturday.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.